Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we're drinking Moose Drool. It's a brown ale out of Big Sky Brewing Company from Missoula, Montana. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are going to be drinking and reviewing. Be sure to like and subscribe and cheers that notification bell to get notified of all our videos in the future. Of course, I am joined by Jay and by Andy in the attic, and I am Ben. So with that, what are we going to be drinking today?
Moose Drool. Lapping it up.
Lapping it up.
It's out of Big Sky Brewing Company from Missoula, Montana. A brown ale. It's we've had this in our fridges a while. I'm super curious to see
what
a Moose Drool is like.
No explosion.
No explosion. Yep. So we've had this is our fourth and last of the Big Sky that we have. I have been most excited and interested to try this one, if for no other reason than the name. The can art's pretty cool, and I think this is kind of their flagship or their kind of main beer that kind of started the brewery, if I'm not mistaken, based on some of the other research we've done. So excited to give this one a shot.
Well, it smells like a brown.
It does.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. I think Andy and I had to get past some of that foam.
Foam's tasty.
It is.
I had very low head.
I like to open it up.
Aerate it.
Yeah. So this is more of an American brown ale versus an English brown. So it's going to have a low to medium hop flavor and aroma. But it can still, the Americans are typically a little more bitter than the English style. And this one has 5.0% ABV,
yep.
26 IBUs, and an SRM of 38, y'all.
Whoa.
Getting dark. Yeah, they post their SRM.
38. So if my memory serves me correctly, the SRM score goes from 0 to 40, and it can go above 40, but
40 plus,
typical. Yeah. That's the typical scale, right?
This is one of our darker
38?
ones. However, it's still
you can
not
still
the darkest. Yeah, look at that.
That's almost like a little darker red ale, almost maybe.
Yeah.
Brown.
It's got so it's made out of 4 different types of malt: pale, caramel, chocolate, and whole black malts.
It's interesting. Yeah, you can pick those caramel and chocolate notes for sure. I could smell those when it came across.
Yeah. And then the hops. Never heard of this one. East Kent Goldings hop, Liberty and Willamette.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I know. So again, I mentioned this a minute ago. This is our fourth of the Big Sky. None of us had ever had any Big Sky previous to starting the show. And, I think we had a really good Space Goat. And we had a couple that, let's just say we weren't real impressed with.
Middle of the road.
Yep. And then, so I think, again, Moose Drool is one that again, I've been excited and kind of waiting to try. And one other thing I did want to mention is they make water fun, and they provide that 3.777, which we have talked about on the other Big Sky beers. That is a date, number code for something, we'll post a link down in the description that kind of explains what that is or what people think that is. I don't think anybody really knows at this point, but definitely an interesting read just to kind of learn a little bit more about, really more about Montana. So
perhaps a story of legend.
Definitely appears that way if you go and check up on it. So just some added edutainment here from Hopped Up Beer Review.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Unique.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump in on the ratings. I like it. I like browns, and it's a kind of a classic tasting brown to me. It's more, I don't get much bitterness out of it, less hop feel to it, but definitely more of the caramelization, the kind of like they say that it's got some cocoa hints to it, but it's good, more on the sweeter end. But man, I'm going to give this probably one of the Space Goat I really liked. I'm going to say this is a little higher than Space Goat. I can't remember if I gave that a 7 or 7.5, but as browns go, again, I want to compare it to what I think a brown should be like. I'm going to give this guy an 8. I'm going to give him high marks on this one. Good job.
Jay.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Andy. I mean, this is the best offering I think we've had from Big Sky, hands down. And I can understand it being their flagship. So I do love the can art with the drool. Makes me feel normal. No, but I can pick up on the caramel and the cocoa, and it's a fun one. So I think I'll probably have to go 7.5. So
Yeah, I think after Space Goat, they came out, just for us, again, in the order that we happen to review them. Space Goat came out really strong. We followed that up with Summer Honey, and then the IPA that they have. Not things that we were, just overly excited about, was the best way I can put it. You can go back and watch those reviews and learn more about what we thought about those. But I think that, to have Drool last, I think was a good choice. And I think that kind of, in my mind, kind of redeems, what Big Sky's doing, at least from the perspective that we have of reviewing these in a specific order. So with that, I mean, I really like it. I think definitely on a brown scale, it's definitely really good. I agree with Andy. You get those hints of the cocoa and the caramel, and it comes through, and it's just really, really good. So I'm going to go 8 as well, because I like it. That will give us a 7.8 for Moose Drool by Big Sky Brewing out of Missoula, Montana. Definitely one that you should check out, if for no other reason than this pretty stellar can art, and I'm sure the bottle art is just as fantastic. Great brown ale. Pick it up, give it a shot. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell if you have not done so. And we definitely appreciate you guys checking us out, watching this video, watching any of our other videos. We have a lot of fun doing this, and it's a lot of fun for us to see that anybody out there is actually enjoying this as well. So for Andy, ever in his attic, and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. I think we're so poorly watched, we'll accept stalkers at this point.
Attic tours.
Stop trying that.
There's a ghost in his attic.
Yeah,
it would make it so much
nighttime
cooler.
Ghost tours.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no mystique. It's a lame attic.